So, someone has leaked the Five Nights at Freddy's movie trailer. If you haven't seen it yet, go check out my reaction and reanimation, as this was crazy. Lots of people's videos have been getting taken down, so I will attempt to blur these screenshots, and you may have to rely on my description. Now, this trailer shows off many things to the point that it's surprising, and I don't know why they didn't save a lot of these reveals for the movie for more excitement. Spoiler warning for the trailer and movie if you have been avoiding the leaks ahead. So first we'll begin with an analysis of the trailer, and then theories and predictions based upon it. I think I know the rough storyline already, based on how much it showed in this trailer. So without further ado, let's get into it. So the trailer opens with a look at the rundown Freddy sign and location, saying open in fallen worn letters and the O red for some reason. Now we've already seen this, so I can show you what it looks like. Someone, possibly the phone guy, or Mike, not Michael, which I'll get to later, says something about the children from the 80s, but we don't get to hear the beginning of a sentence. He says the owners are holding on to the closed location for some reason. We see Abby and Mike drive to and walk inside of the location. Again, theories as to why will come later. Then Mike says, I will work and you will sleep, presumably to Abby. Then we see them explore the location and see Foxy's shadow. He walks through the right hallway from FNAF 1 with some kind of stand and into an employee's room, likely the security office, but now without Abby. We see part of a neon sign and the text, from the producers of Megan, one of Blumhouse's other movies. We hear the voice from before say,
all you have to do is keep your eyes on the monitor,
making me believe it's not Mike but someone instructing him. Mike turns on the many TV screens and cameras in the office as well. Mike plays a tape with his name on it, prompting a greeting by this woman, welcoming him as the new security guard and showing the old pizzeria when it was open, full of people. This arcade is the game Centipede by Atari. We see a ball pit, which made me think of the End of the Pit, because anytime a ball pit even exists, I will assume it's a time-traveling expedition producer. Also, this kid has this knockoff Foxy plush, and I have no idea why they chose to use this instead of a custom prop, or the highly accurate Sanchi Foxy plush. We see someone, revealed to be a police officer, outside of the location on the cameras, cutting to her greeting and warning him of the spirits. When she rings the doorbell, it plays the door light sound from FNAF 1. We then see this Halloween over another image of the neon sign saying Freddy's. We see a drawing on the fridge, which is very interesting as it shows Foxy, Chica, Bonnie, and Foxy, as well as 3 children, a blonde girl and 2 brown-haired boys, one of which holds a green plush with possible bunny ears. These 3 children remind me of the crying child Michael and Elizabeth, especially as Foxy was drawn with more nightmares than the others, possibly alluding to Michael scaring him with the Foxy mask. The plush that the boy holds could be the plush top chaser, which would be so cool to see. We see more of the animatronics and see Freddy's head in the dark. This Freddy he finds has a head closer to Withered Freddy's than FNAF 1 Freddy's, but we do see the animatronics are the FNAF ones, so they may have passed animatronics in a parts and service in the movie, which would be epic. This is followed by Mike sleeping on the job. Suddenly the lights turn on, the music plays, and the location erupts, activating the animatronics. The music playing is actually Circus Pipe Organ from the original FNAF 1 soundtrack. I couldn't find where I knew this from, however, as I couldn't find where it was used in the games. Then I realized it's used in the 5th installment of Scrippus McGrimus's Lost VHS tapes. Listen to this. That's so cool. Then we finally see Freddy, Chica, and Bonnie and Cupcake. Now these designs are much more colorful than those from the main game, much more resembling the Help Wanted designs, but are still way more vibrant. Unlike Help Wanted, however, they are very, very furry, referencing the description of the games rather than the VR's plastic look. Bonnie is a bright blue instead of purple, and accompanied by his newly designed guitar rather than the copyrighted FNAF 1 model, as that was made by someone other than Scott. The Cupcake actually has an opening mouth, revealing bottom teeth, weirdly. This leads me to assume we may see a scene where Mike has to face off against a small Cupcake, possibly comedically. After jolting to life, the animatronics spark as they perform the show from the FNAF 1 trailer, which I thought was a nice detail. Then 3 cameras flash as we hear Toreador march. Which plays lightly throughout the whole trailer. The first camera looks like a new one, but is most likely Pirates Cove from another angle, as we can see the purple curtains, which do have a slightly different design. Then we see the dining room with the classic tables, and backstage, with the exact camera position from the original game. We see Foxy's body in the inside of Pirates Cove with the shadow behind him. Next, a woman talks about children going missing in the 80s, and we see the shadow of a child floating and going into the mouth of a Freddy, as screams are heard. Bite of 83? The child seems to be a girl, however, so this may be our first look at the Bite of 87, which would be crazy, as it is the longest going FNAF mystery, originating from FNAF 1, and this would be the perfect time to solve it. We see the woman talking as she says,
The police searched Freddy's top to bottom. They never found him.
Abby appears to be lost and alone in the location, and Foxy's eyes pop out from his cove. We see a group of people opening a garage, and someone holding an object peering through a safe room door at a child. Then Bonnie is inside the room, looking at her, possibly William and Spring Bonnie. We see a Bonnie etched into the ground, looking similar to the drawings on the wall in FNAF 1, and I feel like I may have seen this drawing in game, but I cannot find it, so I could be wrong. We hear Mike acknowledge the ghost children, as he calls them, and see him in a forest. We see a child wearing an orange shirt and a hook in this forest. And then a shot of Foxy's hook, showing us the kid who would go on to become Foxy, Fritz, which is so cool. We then see the forest with 4 kids, 1 for each man animatronic in the order of Bonnie, Foxy, Freddy, and Chica. In my reaction, I mistakenly said that this was the order of the heads of FNAF 3, but that is untrue. The first child is a dark blue sweater with white stripes similar to the crying child's of Gregory. They also have white bunny ears, showing us that this is Jeremy, the kid who will later become Bonnie. Next is the Foxy kid, Fritz, we saw before, with an orange sweater and a cardboard hook in one hand. Next is Freddy, aka Gabriel, a boy with an old-timey tan clothes and a matching hat. Finally, we see Chica's spirit, Susie, with a white and yellow shirt. They disappear out of thin air to show that they are, in fact, ghosts. We then see Mike in the middle of the forest from above, possibly at night now. Then the people from before at the garage, going to the location with bags. Who these people are, I will get to in the theory section. We see Mike look around the location and hear the woman correct his saying of children possessing giant robots, calling them, of course, animatronics. Another look at the Freddy sign shows the text, "When the night shift starts," and then Foxy is shown in the hallway. Abby looks at papers on the wall from earlier in the trailer and shows one of Spring Bonnie and 5 kids. 4 of them are the ones we saw earlier, and there's an extra 5th blonde child. Who this is will be covered later as well. We see Bonnie with orange and yellow eyes for some reason. Mike calls for Abby, and then we see the sign of "The Nightmare Begins." Mike is running past shelves, and then is locked into some mechanism as Freddy watches him with red eyes. He seems to actually jump scare him with a possibly open face from Sister Location, but that wouldn't fit at all, so I have no clue. We see an animatronic roam with the man humming Toreador March, possibly Spring Bonnie or Chica. Abby screams and Mike calls back. We see Abby seemingly kidnapping the car as she reaches out to Mike in the forest, looking at the leaving vehicle. This car is the same build and same dark purple as William's car from the games, which is very cool. Foxy's shadow appears and Mike is shown next to someone in the hospital, which could be his mom, but reminds me of the man in Rome 1208. 2 hospital workers beat up Mike in a fountain with people around him. This could be at the mall based on prior teasers. Mike runs and William himself, Springtrap, glares ominously in the camera, revealing him for the first time. We've actually seen his design earlier in teasers as well. The humming continues, possibly from William, as we see Foxy walk around the location. Abby hides from him behind an arcade and then in a ball pit. Then, we see a yellow animatronic with a purple bow tie. I first suspected this to be Spring Bonnie, but with the blue eye, this is probably Fredbear, my favorite character, who I actually went as for Halloween. Freddy and Bonnie's eyes glow red, and the logo and name for the movie are being revealed, just being 5 Nights at Freddy's. The trailer ends with a cameo from YouTuber Corey's Kenshin, who you may know as the guy from the famous Scott Cawthon photo, taken at an attempt at a real-life Freddy's attraction. He is a taxi driver in this movie, with Abby and the reveal of Fredbear / Golden Freddy with one glowing blue eye, also in the taxi, either referencing Fredbear or the 2 spirits inside of it, Cassidy and the Crying Child. I love this design, more than the usual design. Abby seems to have befriended it, confirming this to be Golden Freddy, not Fredbear. I don't know if this is an error, but the eye that it's glowing changes, so it could be another spirit taking over or an error. I think this trailer reveals too much. It shows Springtrap, Fredbear, and the children, most likely being the biggest moments of the movie. Unless they play the Living Tombstones FNAF 1 song, I think they should have just revealed the animatronics of Freddy, Bonnie, and Chica and left it there. But that's just my opinion. I am very excited for this movie, and especially for Fredbear. Now, finally getting to the theory section. I first want to note what I said at the beginning, that this is Mike, not Michael. The casting for this character was shown to be Mike Schmidt and not Michael Afton, but, I mean, obviously they don't want to reveal that, but I think this is definitely not Michael Afton. First of all, obviously they aren't going to do this in the movie anyway, and they probably aren't going to follow the game's timeline, but Michael is, first of all, not rotting, which I just wanted to point out before I get into the better details. So, Michael seems to be in his 20s, which wouldn't fit if they're saying that the murders happened in the 80s. And also, Abby is 8. Again, not fitting. The reason this doesn't fit is, first of all, William would have committed the murders in the 80s, and the children would have been much older if they were alive during the 80s. Also, there's no way that William could have been the father of these children, as he has been Springtrap for the last 30 years, as Springtrap is in this movie, and we know that he was Springtrap for 30 years. I genuinely think that this is not Michael Afton, but this is just Mike Schmidt. And the mom, she'll just be Mrs. Schmidt. And Abby is just Abby Schmidt. And we may not know who the dad is, but I just don't think that it's William Afton. Now, next, what location is this? This could be the FNAF 1 location, and it also could be the unwithered location where the withered animatronics were before they were withered. You may say that the designs do not fit that, but I have a whole theory on my channel about how I actually think that the designs for the unwithered location are actually the FNAF 1 designs, which you can go check out that video in the FNAF Theories playlist on my channel. I don't really know which location this could be, but I generally would assume this to be a mix between the two, as it's most likely the location where the murders were committed in 1985, which was, of course, the unwithered location. Next, these people. I think they're new characters. Maybe the one in the middle could be William, but I think everyone else are new characters who are most likely Michael's age, possibly daring him to go into the location, and they could be the people talking to him at the beginning. Next, I actually have a theory that this character, the police officer, is Vanessa, and will be revealed as evil, maybe at the climax of the movie, and maybe even summon Springtrap. I do not like this, but I do think that it is probably what her character is, as she was cast under the name Vanessa. But many people assumed that it was just going to be a cameo, and they were just using the name, but I do think that she is going to turn evil, and possibly have something to do with Springtrap, as she seems to know a lot about the location, about the murders, about the possessions, about what happened, about the police. And why would she know this? Unless maybe she was Vanessa. So, that's my theory. Now, with those main theories out of the way, let's get into what I believe to be the plot of this movie. So, I think it'll really follow Michael possibly getting dared or having to, against his will, become the security guard or stay overnight at a Freddy's location, and the tape with his name introducing him. He may have to look after Abby as the mom is in the hospital and has to take her with him to the location. He'll tell her to sleep as he works, but of course that's not how children work, and she will walk around and explore as he keeps watch, eventually sleeping on the job. Theoretically, I think that them saying the animatronics want to make her one of them leads me to believe that they will not befriend her and that they will try and kill Abby throughout the movie, which could be the main problem. I do think she will befriend Fredbear, not Golden Freddy, Fredbear, but they are the same, so who knows, in the movie, and they will get into shenanigans around the location. Possibly, Fredbear could defend her, which would be interesting as well. I think they could possibly get trapped in the location, but before they do, the police officer will come and greet them and tell them about the spirits. I don't think they'll get trapped, though, because there'll probably be day sections and night sections. In the day sections, that'll be when they see the kids in the forest who could be trying to reach out to Michael, either to kill Abby or him, or to tell him about Freddy's past, which I do think that Michael will have to learn throughout the movie. Abby could possibly get kidnapped by what could be William, because he is in this movie, but Springtrap is also in the movie, so maybe he'll get spring-locked at some point, but probably not, although that would be an interesting scene. Now, I do think the animatronics will chase them around the location, and the climax will be Springtrap coming out to hunt Abby and Michael. Fredbear could possibly help Abby and fight against Springtrap in a final scene and possibly kill him and lead to Ultimate Custom Night, but who knows? I think that would be the general plot of the movie there, most likely with more to it there, but that's just a brief, explanation of what I believe the plot to be. Hopefully the credits roll with a Living Tombstone's FNAF 1 song, as that would be the best thing ever. Will other YouTubers cameo in this movie? I do not know. Will Scott cameo in this movie? I do not know. I could see Scott cameoing as the phone guy, maybe it playing, and he mutes it, Mike does, like in a comedic way. But other YouTubers, I don't know. I wasn't confident that YouTubers would even show up in the movie at all, but one YouTuber already has. So seeing possibly Markiplier or Matt Pat or Dawko, who I think deserves it the most, could be interesting, as we've already seen that they have gone to the set. So yeah, that'll cap it off for the theory section. So, that was a very long video. This video took me so long. I probably shouldn't have promised to do it this early. Probably should have waited to the weekend, but you know what? We'll just put it out right here. If you haven't yet, again, go check out my reaction and reanimation of the trailer, and subscribe for more videos about the Five Nights at Freddy's movie and Five Nights at Freddy's in the future as news comes out. I am doing daily uploads for 2023, so, you know, you can either like that, or if you don't, turn off notifications. And with that, I will see you guys all next time.